know, just enjoy each moment.
Disfruta cada momento.
Don't be so severe.
No seas tan severa.
Yeah, I'm attached to my brother.
Sí, estoy apegada a mi hermano.
Oh, well,
Sí,
it doesn't
no
matter.
importa.
The thing is,
La cosa es
that love,
que ese amor
it shouldn't change.
no tendría que cambiar.
Like if he says something
Si él
nice,
dice algo lindo,
if he says something
o si
bad,
dice algo feo,
it should just be constant for you.
ese amor tendría que estar constante ahí para
So
ti.
you keep letting go of the
Así que
judgments
puedes ir dejando ir los juicios que
and
tengas
the need of his approval.
y la necesidad por su aprobación.
This is what you have to let
En
go of.
realidad lo que tienes que soltar es esa necesidad,
By giving it to yourself.
dándote eso a ti mismo. esa
But just
aprobación.
enjoy it,
Pero disfrútalo.
that he's saying these nice things to
Disfruta
you.
que te está diciendo estas cosas tan lindas.
Right? Just enjoy.
Sí, solo disfruta.
It shows that you're opening.
Muestra el cómo tú te estás abriendo,
Yeah?
¿verdad?
And the witnessing and the water, beautiful. I had clarities and I've seen myself. And it was like seeing how I accommodate or I suppress myself to be what I should do, to be approved, or something like that. And I can see that I suppress my feelings sometimes, like trying to be appropriate or don't show enough. The question is how to be myself.
You know, you have to stop thinking. You have to let go of these ideas of what's appropriate, what's inappropriate, what's the timing, am I being too loud, am I being too quiet, am I being correct, am I being incorrect. It all comes from thoughts. And to be yourself is spontaneous. It doesn't matter. So you just stay anchored in consciousness and be as a child. As long as the child's not trying to constantly get attention, you'll be fine. But stop being so rigid. And who's putting these rules? What's appropriate? It's just an idea. And it holds us like this. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I should have said that. Oh, I shouldn't. It always starts with that voice. I shouldn't. Okay, just stop. Start to have fun. Be as the dolphins. Do you think they care what we think? Do you think the tortoises having sex on top of the water care what we think? I don't care. They're in the moment doing their thing. Well, so you be like the tortoises and the dolphins. Just be enjoy.
I'm in a relationship with a man that I love so much. And he's long having problems. He's a person that scolds me too much, and I think I scold him too much. In many aspects, I can see that is my biggest mirror. I see myself there. What I hate the most from him, I said, that's me, and I hate that, and I want to run away. And we both do the same. So I want to ask you, what do you think about how to see when it's a relationship that is not healthy, or is a gift to continue growing both together? It became so exhausting, the relationship, where I don't know anymore if I'm seeing right, if it's one or the other.
You know, the thing is, when you're in a complicated relationship, all you can use it for is to grow. And you have to be clear that your suffering
sufrimiento
because of expectations.
es por las expectativas.
You have an
Tú tienes
expectation.
una expectativa.
So you find a partner
Así que encuentras una pareja
that cannot fulfill your
que no
expectations,
puede completar tus expectativas.
and as a
Y
consequence,
como
you
consecuencia,
suffer.
tú sufres.
And on some
Y
level,
en algún nivel
you're attracted to that.
estás atraída a eso.
You want to be the victim.
Quieres ser la víctima. de
You
la
want to
cosa.
be the poor one in the
Tú
story.
quieres ser la pobrecita yo de la historia.
Okay, and the thing
Y la
is,
cosa es
you know the
que tú
situation,
conoces la situación.
it doesn't change.
No cambia.
So the only person that can
Así que
change
en realidad la única persona que puede cambiar
is you.
eres tú misma.
But you have to change the victim.
Pero tú tienes que cambiar a la víctima.
Okay, I choose to be here.
Ok, elijo estar aquí,
Let's be happy
estemos felices.
without
Sin
expectations.
expectativas.
I cannot be happy in this
No puedo ser
situation.
feliz en esta situación.
I leave.
Y me voy.
There's not that one's good or one's
No es
bad.
que una opción es buena y la otra es mala.
It's in your
Está
hands.
solo en tus manos.
But be careful,
Pero cuidado,
because you'll create it again
porque vas a volver a crear lo mismo.
and again,
Y de nuevo,
again,
de nuevo,
until you take responsibility.
hasta que tomes responsabilidad.
That your happiness is in your
Tu
hands.
felicidad está en tus propias manos.
What the other person
Lo
does
que la otra persona haga,
is of no
no
consequence.
importa.
You have to decide.
Tú tienes que decidir.
You know, when we're immature,
Cuando somos inmaduros,
we just go from partner to partner to partner to
saltamos de
partner,
pareja a pareja, pareja, pareja,
looking for something different.
buscando algo diferente.
And we see it's always the same
Y
thing.
vemos como siempre termina siendo lo mismo.
We keep creating the same thing
Seguimos creando lo mismo.
because it's a program.
Porque en realidad ese es el programa.
And the program,
Y el programa
it attracts.
atrae,
It attracts what it needs
atrae lo que necesita
to suffer.
para poder sufrir igual.
So it's about you.
Así que se trata de ti.
Whether you stay
El que te quedes en eso
or leave
o te vayas
depends on you.
depende de ti.
If you throw the list of complaints away,
Si tú tiras la lista de todas las quejas,
if you throw it
si
away,
la tiras y la botas,
then you'll be okay.
entonces vas a estar bien.
But if you keep getting the list
Pero si sigues levantando esa lista,
because there's
pasándola
resentment,
porque hay resentimiento,
it loses its flow,
pierde el fluir,
loses the passion.
pierde la pasión,
It's always got a complaint.
siempre va a tener una queja,
The other person
la
responds.
otra persona responde.
So you really have to let go
Entonces, realmente tienes que soltar,
of everything
soltar absolutamente todo
and start afresh.
y empezar a nuevo.
Yep.
¿Sí?
Good.
Qué bueno.
Hola,
Hola. Hi.
estoy un poco emocionada.
I'm very moved asking you this.
Estos últimos días
These last days I had
muy
been
conectada conmigo
very connected with myself and refreshing, doing refreshing each
y
moment.
también
And also
sintiendo de verdad
feeling really that I'm a creator.
mucho miedo de ver,
And with a lot of fear seeing that,
pero quiero atravesarlo.
but I want to move through that fear.
Me siento un poco asustada.
That's why I feel a little bit scared about that,
Quiero de verdad confiar
because really I want to trust myself.
en que lo que viene
To
siempre
trust in whatever comes is always perfect, and I want to grow.
en un poder que está siendo nuevo para mí.
But it's a new power, this for me.
Te quiero preguntar eso.
And I want to ask you that. How can I push myself more? And how really I can trust myself?
Well, you're starting to see this now,
Estás
no?
empezando a ver esto ahora.
And you're starting to move the limitation.
Estás empezando a mover las limitaciones.
You know, you're seeing
Estás viendo
you're not embracing your power.
que no estás abrazando.
You're
tu poder.
seeing
Estás viendo
you have fear.
que tienes miedo.
You're seeing
Estás viendo
what's inhibiting your growth.
qué es lo que inhibe tu crecimiento.
And that's great.
Y eso es
So you're
maravilloso.
doing it by yourself.
Así que lo estás haciendo tú mismo.
The system does it.
El sistema lo va a lograr.
There's not something new to do.
No es que haya algo nuevo para hacer
It
ahora.
happens naturally.
Naturalmente sucede.
This is the progression.
Esto es una progresión.
Oh, I see.
Veo ahora.
Oh, now I see.
Ahora veo.
I see.
Ahora veo.
I change.
Entonces,
I see.
veo.
I change.
Cambio.
I move forward.
Avanzo.
I trust.
Confío.
I see.
Veo.
I change.
Cambio.
Yeah. And that's what the system's for.
Y para eso es el sistema.
It's progressive.
Es progresivo.
There's not a big secret.
No es que hay un gran secreto.
Now you do this.
Ahora vas a hacer esto.
No.
No.
You just keep doing the same
Sigues
thing.
haciendo la misma cosa.
And it keeps
Sigue
unfolding.
desenvolviéndose y mostrándose.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like you're unraveling,
A
but you're
veces
actually only
te sientes como
unfolding.
que te estuvieras envolviendo, pero en realidad estás desenvolviendo.
Mm. Good.
Qué bueno.
Thanks to the system, I was able to create an excellent relationship with all my family. But now the thing is that they fight a lot in between them, and I feel in between. And each of them calls me aside, trying to be right, and for me to support that. But I feel totally in between, in the middle of all that. How can I do not to break that relationship that is so beautiful with each of them? And sometimes it's not possible to give the reason to that person.
You know what?
¿Sabes qué?
You don't give reason.
No es que le vas a dar la razón.
And you be clear.
Y tenés que ser clara.
I love you
Te
unconditionally.
amo
I don't want to be in the middle.
No quiero estar en el medio.
It's your
Es
responsibility.
tu propia responsabilidad.
You need to change
Tú
internally.
necesitas cambiar
You need to
internamente.
heal yourself.
Tú necesitas sanarte.
You need to tell them what you know.
Tú necesitas decirles a ellos lo que tú sabes.
But because you're mummy,
Pero como eres mami,
you want to save them.
quieres rescatarlos y salvarlos.
And you can't save
No
them.
se puede salvarlos.
They have to save
Ellos
themselves.
se tienen que salvar a sí mismos.
And you have to be
Y
clear.
tienes que estar clara con
I'm not
eso.
going to get in the middle of this.
No me voy a meter en medio de
Because
esto.
then,
Porque si no, entonces,
because they're so immature,
son tan
they start with mummy said this and mummy said that and mummy said that. And then the big drama starts
Y
again.
empieza el gran drama de nuevo.
You just have to be centered
Solo tienes que estar centrada
and clear
y clara.
and empower them through your
Y
empowerment.
empoderarlos a través de tu propio poder. Tu
And
propio
that is
empoderamiento. Y eso
not
es
seeing them as
el
victims.
no verlos como víctimas.
Because when you see people as
Porque
victims,
cuando tú ves a las personas como víctimas,
you're projecting your pain,
estás proyectando sobre ellos tu propio
the
dolor,
things that have happened in your life.
aquellas cosas que acontecieron en tu vida.
Everyone's creating everything for themselves to grow.
Todos y cada uno está creando todo para poder crecer.
So when you start taking
Así
sides,
que cuando empiezas a tomar parte en el asunto,
it's just you projecting your own victim.
ahí estás proyectando tú tu propia víctima.
You know, I listen to all the dramas in the world.
Yo escucho todos los dramas del mundo.
I see the same patterns repeating all
Veo
the
los mismos
time.
patrones repitiéndose todo el tiempo.
I'm not a moralist,
Yo no soy moralista,
so I don't sit in the middle judging.
así que no me siento en el medio juzgando.
I can't take sides
No puedo tomar parte en ninguna.
because it's
ningún
just
lado.
a human
Es
experience.
solo una experiencia
And it
humana.
has a dance
Y tiene una cierta danza, tiene un
until it
ritmo,
gets to
y
maturity.
hasta que llega a la madurez.
It's a progressive thing.
Es una cosa progresiva.
People evolve when they're
La
ready.
gente se involucra cuando está lista,
But no one's a victim.
pero nadie es una víctima.
Be very clear.
Estate súper clara con eso.
No one's a victim.
Nadie es víctima.
Hola, Isha.
Hi, Isha. Hola, felicidad.
Sabes que ya he visto muchas cosas
I've seen so many things in me. I'm clear. I like. I have been much longer with myself. I enjoyed.
Quiero que me digas
And I want you to tell me if the doubt
o el resentimiento
or the resentment are the same thing. Because I have doubts with that.
Doubts
Duda
and resentment is the
y
same.
resentimiento son lo mismo.
No.
No.
You need to be clearer.
Necesitas
You need
estar
to give
más
me an
clara.
example.
Me tienes que dar un ejemplo.
Do you have doubts because of resentment?
Tú tienes dudas por resentimiento.
And as a
Y
consequence,
como consecuencia,
you don't trust.
tú no confías.
Is it right?
Exactamente, exactly.
Well, it's the same package, no?
Entonces viene en el mismo paquete,
Well, it's not the same word,
pero no es la misma palabra.
you know, but it's the same
Pero
package,
sí
yes.
viene en el mismo paquete.
You have to start trusting.
Tienes que empezar a confiar.
So you have to let go of the resentment,
Así que tienes que soltar el resentimiento.
and then the doubt will leave.
Y después vas a ver cómo se va la duda.
Well,
después de mover varios días.
After moving for several days because my dog,
Lo que hice fue
what I did was, after crying so much,
enfocarme con la
to focus with the surrender facet to whatever happened. And it was with that almost the whole day. And afterwards, I talked with the dog through the phone.
I'm the only guru in the world that understands perfectly.
Yo soy la única gurú en el mundo que te entiende perfectamente lo que estás diciendo.
And it was incredible because when he was laying down and when he heard my voice, he stood up, open eyes, huge eyes, and the ears went up. And he started moving the head looking for me. He was listening to my voice. And the biggest gift I had when I talked with the vet afterwards, after he saw him, is that he's going to get better. That what he has is a hernia in the spine, and he's producing a lot of pain, and that's why he doesn't walk. And another issue is hypertension, some gastritis thing. I said, he's not going to die, your dog. You're going to come back and you will be with him. We are going to treat him. Oh, and I'm so happy.
How old is your dog?
¿Qué edad es él?
Ya tiene más de 15 años ya.
More than 15. Wow.
Y bueno, está con los temas de vejez.
And he's with his old age issues, no? But I want to see him coming back. He's the only one. Estoy contenta por ti. Qué bueno. And the only thing I want to say is that this how it works. The facets work.
Hasta de perro.
Hace con los perros.
I let go whatever it was going to happen, and I got this gift. So I wanted to share.
Qué bueno.
Qué bueno, qué lindo.
That it's very easy to catch the issue of climate,
Como cuando me pongo a pensar
global crisis, climate crisis, when I want to suffer, that there is not so much time to change, dolphins can disappear. It's so easy to hook into that. Can you talk about that?
You know, we can have a billion themes to
podemos
suffer.
tener para sufrir 1.000.000 de temas diferentes.
You know, when I was growing up,
Cuando yo estaba creciendo,
I was marching for every cause that existed.
marchaba por todas las causas que existían.
Stop uranium mining,
Parar las minas de uranio,
save the whales,
salvar las ballenas,
save the indigenous,
salvar a los indígenas,
women's rights,
los derechos de la
and the
mujer.
list went on and on and on and on. Because I had to attach to some
Porque
cause
tenía que apegarme a alguna causa
and become fanatical about
y
that
tornarme fanática detrás de eso.
and suffer because of
Y
that.
sufrir por esa razón.
And that doesn't cause
Y
change.
eso en realidad no causa cambio.
The thing that causes
Lo que
change
sí ayuda al cambio, causa cambio.
is obviously creating
Es
change,
obviamente crear el cambio,
but from a place of
pero
consciousness.
desde un lugar de conciencia.
It's just a higher level of
Es
suffering.
solo un nivel más alto de sufrimiento.
You know, there's always this lack and
Está
fear,
siempre este miedo y esta carencia.
and it doesn't change
Y en
anything.
realidad no cambia nada.
The thing is, you have to focus on
La cosa
giving,
es que te tienes que enfocar en dar,
joy,
en la dicha,
and moving into
en
action
ponerse en acción
to provoke
para
change,
provocar un cambio,
not suffering it.
no para sufrirlo.
Oh, I'm suffering
Estoy sufriendo
because we don't have much
porque
longer.
no nos queda mucho más tiempo.
That doesn't change
Eso
anything.
no cambia nada.
Elevate
Eleva
consciousness.
la conciencia,
Be an agent of
sea un
change,
agente de cambio,
but without the
pero sin
suffering.
el sufrimiento
Do it from a place of joy.
hazlo desde un lugar de dicha,
Demonstrate the beauty.
demostrando la belleza,
Teach.
enseña,
Educate.
educa,
Do something
haz
positive.
algo positivo.
But suffering
Pero el sufrir,
doesn't do anything.
sufrir no ayuda a nada.
If suffering saved the world,
Si el sufrir ayudara al mundo,
it would have
salvar al
been
mundo,
saved the minute Jesus died.
ya hubiera sido salvado en el momento que murió Jesús,
That was suffering.
porque eso fue sufrimiento.
Stop suffering.
Deja de sufrir,
Let it go.
suelta eso.
And that's a good point to think about Jesus, no?
Y ese es un buen punto, ¿no? Pensando en Jesús.
Because on some
Porque
level,
en algún nivel,
he let go of everything.
él soltó y dejó ir absolutamente
He let
todo.
go of his human
Él
experience,
soltó su experiencia humana
and he was born as God.
y renació como Dios.
So, what did he let go of to get to that
Entonces,
point?
al llegar a ese punto, ¿qué fue lo que él soltó?
The
El
suffering.
sufrimiento.
He let it go.
Él lo soltó.
The attachment to the
El apego a
mother.
la madre,
He let go of the abandonment of his
el
friends,
abandono de sus amigos,
the betrayal.
la traición.
He let go of
Dejó
everything
ir todo.
And he
y
returned
retornó
as God.
como Dios.
But we're so attached to the suffering.
Pero nosotros estamos tan apegados al sufrimiento.
We think the suffering's sacred.
Creemos que el sufrimiento es lo sagrado.
And it's not sacred.
Y no es sagrado.
The
El
suffering
sufrimiento
is what he let go of
solamente aquello que él soltó
to resurrect.
para la resurrección.
For me, it's an explanation of
Es
enlightenment.
una explicación de la iluminación.
That's all it is.
Es lo único que es.
For me,
Para mí,
Christ
el Cristo
is the
es
enlightenment.
la iluminación.
Jesus
Jesús
was the
fue la
transformation
transformación
into the Christ,
dentro del Cristo.
into consciousness,
En la
Christ's
conciencia
consciousness.
crística.
But we attach to the suffering,
Pero nos apegamos al sufrimiento
to suffer's holy.
como si el sufrir fuera sagrado.
It brings me closer to God.
Me acerca a Dios.
God's not suffering.
Dios no está sufriendo.
There's
Hay
perfection
perfección
within the duality
dentro de la dualidad.
and the beauty
La belleza
and the horror.
y los horrores.
Everything's evolving.
Todo está evolucionando.
But don't think the suffering's
Pero
holy.
no piensen que el sufrimiento es sagrado.
It's not.
No lo es.
It's human.
Es humano.
It's a
Es una
misinterpretation.
mala interpretación.
Hola, Isha.
Hi, Isha.
Ay, sí.
Hola.
Siento que estoy como soltando
I
estos
feel I'm
lugares
letting go these places that are comfortable, that were maintaining
que no
me,
eran tan cómodos, me
that were
tenían
not so
como
comfortable,
limitadas
maintaining
y
me
la
limited.
seguridad afuera.
I'm depositing the safety outside.
Y ahora estoy como, o sea,
And
se
now
siente
I'm
bien,
like, I
pero
feel
estoy como
good,
que no entiendo nada,
but like
estoy
not
como en reflexiones,
understanding.
como que
When I receive reflections, I can
mis ganas de
see
defenderla,
wanting
defender
to
esa postura
defend
anterior.
that posture, previous
Si me
posture.
pudieras hablar un poquito de esto y cómo
Can you
puedo
talk a bit about this?
como seguir.
How can I
Rompiendo con
continue
eso.
breaking with that?
Well, if you see it, you change.
Si lo ves, lo cambias.
That automatic
Esa
response,
respuesta automática.
just stop.
Solo paras.
Go in.
Ve hacia adentro.
You have the
Tú
consciousness.
tienes la conciencia.
So you're falling into old
Así
habits.
que de pronto caes en viejos hábitos.
Maybe within your
Tal
relationship.
vez dentro de tu relación.
That's always the place that starts to provoke the mirror.
Empieza a provocar el espejo.
So just keep going in
Sigue yendo hacia adentro.
and taking everything as a
Y
gift,
tomando, recibiendo todo como un regalo.
a gift for
Un
growth.
regalo para crecer más.
And see this place of
Y
suffering.
tienes que ver ese lugar de
Oh, I'm
sufrimiento.
falling there
Ah,
again.
estoy cayendo ahí de
I'm
nuevo.
looking for approval.
Ah, estoy buscando aprobación.
I'm attaching.
Estoy apegando.
And just let go.
Y solo soltar.
You know, you have the way.
Tú sabes la manera.
All of you do.
Todos ustedes saben la manera.
Now it's a choice.
Ahora es su elección.
I keep
Sigo
suffering
sufriendo
or I choose for love.
o elijo el amor.
I keep defending
Sigo defendiendo
or I open to
o
receive.
me abro a recibir.
You know, Annie was just saying,
Annie recién decía,
it's so hard for those tortoises to make love
es tan difícil para esas tortugas hacer el amor.
because they're full of shields.
Porque están llenos de caparazones.
But all the humans are full of
Pero
shields.
todos los humanos están llenos de caparazones.
I said, I think the tortoises are doing a much better job.
Creo que las tortugas lo hacen mucho mejor que los humanos.
Ah.
Hi, Isha. How can I do to let go everything and surrender everything to my consciousness?
Just in each moment.
Lo vas haciendo en cada momento.
You see an attachment.
Ves el apego a
It
algo,
could be to an idea,
puede ser una idea,
could be to a way of
puede
being,
ser una forma de ser o estar,
could be to life,
podría ser a la vida
it
misma,
could be to anything.
podría ser a lo que fuera.
Your highest
Tu
focus
foco más elevado
is just to be letting go
es simplemente el estar soltando
and enjoying each
y
moment.
disfrutando cada momento.
Enjoy each moment like it's your last moment.
Disfruta cada momento como si fuera el último.
Don't suffer it.
No lo sufres.
And this is for all of you.
Esto vale para todos.
You know, I remember that book.
Yo recuerdo ese libro.
I forget who wrote it.
Me olvidé quién
I think it was
escribió.
Paulo Coelho or someone. Paulo Coelho or someone.
Ole,
Veronica decides to die.
Verónica decide morir.
And it was such a great book
Y fue un libro fantástico ese.
because she was given this
Porque a
illusion,
ella se le había dado esta ilusión.
but from a psychiatrist, I think it was,
Psiquiatra,
that she had a limited time to
de
live.
que ella tenía un tiempo limitado para vivir.
So she started living 100%
Entonces empezó a vivir un 100%.
because she was always in this
Porque
depression.
siempre estaba en una depresión permanente.
But because she thought she was going to die,
Pero como sabía que iba a morir,
she jumped out of her depression
salió de su depresión
and started giving her life
y
100%.
empezó a darle a su vida un 100%.
And she started to enjoy her life.
Empezó a disfrutar su
And she
vida.
started to embrace each
Y
moment
empezó a abrazar cada
as if it
momento
was her
como si
last.
fuera el último.
And then she
Y
realized
después se dio cuenta
that it wasn't true.
que no era verdad,
She wasn't dying.
que no se estaba
It was a
muriendo,
trick.
que era un truco.
But that trick,
Pero ese truco,
the fear of
el
death,
miedo a la muerte,
allowed her to
le
live.
permitió vivir.
You know, we take life so for granted.
Damos por sentada la vida,
We don't embrace each
que no
moment
abrazamos de verdad cada momento,
as if it's our
como
last.
si fuera el último.
And we need to do that.
Necesitamos hacer eso.
How can I evolve?
¿Cómo puedo evolucionar?
How can I be in joy?
¿Cómo puedo estar en dicha?
How can I give?
¿Cómo puedo dar?
How can I grow?
¿Cómo puedo crecer?
All of these things,
Todas esas cosas
they're in our hands.
están en nuestras manos.
Yeah.